Just say it, 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 just say it.
Just say it!
What's up, baby? Hurry up, write your number down before I don't want it no more. Hurt me, hurt me! Whoa. What's up, baby?
The name's Veronica.
Ooh, Veronica, I likes that.
Great. Now I can die.
Whoa, hold up, baby. See, now, I noticed you noticing me. So I just want to put you on notice that I noticed you too. And to let you know that, I might consider letting you be with me.
Is that what passes for a compliment around here?
Look, baby, listen.
No, you listen. If you want a shot at being with me, maybe you should try talking to me like a human being, okay? Got it?
Actually, baby, you got it, but I take donations.
A few things. Testing 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Okay, cool, man.
But something I was gonna share, like before we actually even go into like a particular topic, like when I was chatting with, and we were just talking about our experience of life at the moment.
Yeah.
And we were kind of in similar places in terms of feeling frustrated and annoyed, but then not really caring at the same time. Being aware of like our potential and our greatness and what we're capable of, but experiencing the absence of fulfilling that.
Yeah.
Like basically, one of the things I was sharing with one thing I shared with him was like, yesterday I had some chill time with a girl at the park. It was really we had a real nice time, and like in terms of how it unfolded, the conversation was cool. Played some games, had a nice kissy. She's a nice kisser. Like all of that were are external things that I would say, yeah, those are things that I like. But how I was like before I got there and during it, I wouldn't say, like if I used the word alignment and a bit being aligned and not aligned, I would say I probably felt like I was more not aligned than aligned.
Same.
Like after the interaction and stuff, like I kind of was just laughing to myself because I was like, even though I wouldn't say I was
100%.
aligned, yeah, like I was not in my zone, for example, how it unfolded, the outcome
Still
unfolding the way that I liked, and then it just made me think and also remember and realize like there's plenty of times when I've had outcomes unfold in the way that I like, even when I've not been aligned.
Yeah.
And then of course there's been times when I have been aligned and the outcomes have unfolded.
Yeah. And
it just made me kind of think like, the outcomes they don't really have any, they're gonna happen. They don't really have any they're not really dependent or attached to how I am being. But obviously my experience of those outcomes and my experience of whatever things I do is I prefer an experience in being aligned when I do things than not. But I was laughing to myself because I was like, the outcomes will still happen anyway.
Yeah.
And as he was sharing some stuff about like what was going on for him and etc, it was just great conversation, like when you we were just sharing and stuff was coming up and I kind of got back to nothing and like no meaning and not adding anything, and then even to no thinking, because when he was sharing a lot of things at one point, and he's being playful about it, but I was just hearing, this is all just conversation, this is all just story, this is all just thinking.
Yeah.
And I was paralleling it to me as well, like with what I was doing. And I was like, all of that would disappear if we just didn't think, or if we didn't add any meaning. It'd just disappear. And then what would be left is just whatever we are doing. And obviously we get to choose whatever it is that we want to do. And he was talking about like some actions that he like actions that he likes taking, doings that he likes doing, like, and he was saying, like, for example, approaching a girl and talking to a girl and sharing with her, that's something he likes doing. And then there's having sex with a beautiful girl, that's something he likes doing too. And it's not, oh, I've got to go approach that girl and etc, so then that so sex can happen. They're just independent of each other. And those are actually, and I mean the having sex with a beautiful girl is a doing that I definitely like, and sharing in a different way to how it would be with him, but sharing is definitely a thing that I like doing too. Like spending time with a girl is a doing that I like too, and they're all independent, and it is just that, it is what that is. But then I could have a whole conversation around it. I could have a whole conversation around, I'll take the sex bit actually. Like, all right, so I have the doing is I'm doing this girl. I'm having sex with this beautiful girl, and I could have a conversation. I could add meaning around it to what I could say is empowering. I could have an empowering conversation about it, such as, oh, this girl's beautiful, yes, I'm doing the thing, yeah, we're both enjoying it, etc, this feels great. Or I could have a conversation around it which is like, make sure I don't bust too early, Ashley, make sure you keep going, Ashley, make sure you give her that pleasure, Ashley, like, the action that's happening is still the same action. But then obviously,
the only thing that's different is the thought.
The kind of conversation I'm having about it. Now, one, I could say it sounds better, obviously, and it's more empowering, and the other is not. But then I was just like, well, what if I just didn't have any conversation about it at all, and just experienced it for what it is, and just did that doing? Then that's it.
Are you recording this?
Yeah.
Bruh.
I'm recording just because I was just started recording. I wasn't necessarily having the intention of what I'm saying to be but you know, it can be. I don't care. But yeah, like that's what I kind of got back to, that place of like just the no thinking, adding no meaning. And then I was just like, and then I was present to like so many things that I like doing in life, and a few of those things that I'd like to be doing now in my life. The things that do involve like a girl, or girls, a girl. Let's just stay with a girl. Spending time with her, having sex with her, cooking for her, playing with her, laughing with her. Then there's this film that I want to make, then there's this film that I want to write, then there's this business plan I want to do, then there's this piece of art I want to do, then there's laser tag I want to do, there's playing the guitar I want to do, there's learning French I want to do. There's all those things, and inside, like when I don't think about it, I could easily just get my diary out, and I could go for the month or for the week. That day I do that. On 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 that day I do that. And that's it. And then the time comes if I've put a time around it, and I do that. And then that's it. And then I do the other thing. And then that's it. And then I do the other thing. And then that's it. And when I don't think about it, it just occurs so simple. It feels so simple. There's no like concern about it. There's no worry about, am I going to fit it all in on that time? Am I giving it enough time? Like, all right, for example, let's say I was to just do French, learn some French for half an hour, and let's say I only did that once that week. If I just do that and I don't think about that, then that gets done. But I could have a conversation about it, like, is half an hour enough time? Is 1 day a week enough time? Maybe I should put in more time. Maybe and blah 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 blah. And then
now gone.
And then exactly, and the day comes and that time comes and it's gone. So yeah, at the moment, that's kind of where the space that I'm kind of in, and I like it, and I'd like to keep I'd like to cultivate it, like deepen it, like keep it present, and like my minds are hilarious because obviously it like wants to know everything and work everything out. Like, you know, even with the Power Rangers, right?
Yeah.
Hold on, someone is at the door. Let me just pause it.
Okay.
Yo, yeah, I'm back. Yeah. So, what was I saying about? Yeah, I'd like to kind of deepen that and cultivate this kind of space, energy, experience of just like that. Not thinking, that no meaning, that nothingness, that like back to that Sunday kind of mid-evening, empty and meaningless. And it's empty and meaningless because it's empty and meaningless. And then I'm just left with these things, like so many things that can be done that I'd like to do, and I can just choose when I do them and how many of them I do. Without adding any meaning around it. And then at one point I'm gonna die.
Yeah.
And then I'm dead. Oh yeah, that's what I was talking about. Power Rangers. I know I'd love to play a Power Ranger.
Oh yeah.
In the next this new Power Ranger movie that's coming out, lad. And now it's in 2017, which well, it is what it is. The meaning I want to add is that's even better because it gives me more time to be able to somehow be part of it. Take that meaning away. I'd love to be a Power Ranger. Right now in this moment there's not a particular doing. See, it's interesting, right? You know, like how you could have, alright, I want to have sex, and so how you could have so that's a doing in itself. But I could, like, what I have done in the past has been like, I'd like that, so that means like I've got to go approach this girl.
You try to work out a pattern.
Exactly. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, exactly. Work out how I'm gonna do that. I've got to see what girls are up for that. Should I go out to the club? Which is now me thinking of taking a completely different action to try and have that outcome. But like, actually, in reality, they are completely separate. They're independent of each other, and so the fact that I would like to play a Power Ranger, that's a doing I'd like to do. All there is to do around that is play a Power Ranger in the movie when it's being filmed and all of that.
Yeah.
Though what I was about to say, where my conversation, when I have a conversation around it comes up, is like, all right, how can I do that? How can I do that? What have I got to do? All right, who's casting it? I've got to maybe get in touch with the casting director. Where are they filming it? In this area. Maybe I've got to travel to that area to like.
Yeah, just throw it out there, just be there, and take the risk of taking the ticket to go there.
Yeah, but then what I'm saying is that's a completely different action.
That's not actually being the Power Ranger.
It's a completely different
more
doing.
a journey, or
yeah. So of course there could be all these doings that I do that lead up to then that doing, but that doing itself,
you don't know what one's going to be the one that. Yeah.
Yeah. So
all right.
Even this, so and that can be like, you can look at that with a lot of other things in life, a lot of other outcomes or results that people would like. but the doings, like every doing is independent, separate. Like, bring it back to the sex thing, for example, right?
Well, the intentions are different.
Huh?
No. Sorry, no.
No, go on.
Do you say so? It starts with an intention. It starts with an intention, though, isn't it? Like, so the intention obviously to have sex, but then obviously the doing of being able to get the sex or get the result that you want, obviously you're saying is independent, that we have to take various different actions that really don't have much to do with it. It's a separate thing to the result that you want in the end.
Yeah, but even the intention is...
The lead up to...
Even the intention is separate.
Wow.
Because even with even with what you just said about when you use the word results, right? So that's a label, like that's a result, or outcome. Like that's even a label we use, and that's fine. But really, in reality, it's just a doing, which we call a result. But it's just a doing.
Yeah, so what is a result? Yeah.
See, we call it a result because we might go 1 + 1 = 2. So
yeah,
meet girl, talk to her, or let's say meet girl, seduce girl, bang her. Exactly. That's how, like, so then we collapse all of that as a doing, but they're all separate doings, independent. Meet girl is one separate doing with no outcome or result. It's a separate doing. Seducing, well, that's you could say an interpretation. So let's say kissing a girl is a separate doing, and that is just that. And then sex, penetration, whatever the sex is for you, penetration, foreplay, whatever you want to call it, that is a separate doing too, and they're all separate doings. Excuse my sniffing, my cold is nearly gone.
Yeah, me too, man. Nose is peak. Yeah.
But like how, well, I'm not going to say how, I'm not going to talk for other people, so I'll talk for me. How I usually I've had it is, well, if I do that, and then I do that, that will equal that. And that has happened. That I could look at it as that has happened, or I could just look at it as I just did that, and that was that, and I did that, and that was that, and I did that, and that was that.
Interesting.
And then inside of whatever you do, you have you as an individual have a say of how you experience it. And so with what I've been saying about the no thinking, that's a potential way to experience that doing, that I'm becoming clear of, and I've enjoyed the sensation of no thinking inside of that doing. It could be labeled something else. It could be being happy, and then you and you're doing that doing, or be peaceful when you're doing that doing, or whatever it is that might inspire someone else, that individual. Even inspire, you're being inspired, and then you're doing that doing. But they're all separate doings.
This is very interesting, man. I am I'm getting a lot from this, and it's making me think of a subject that I did want to talk about, which I mentioned to you before, because my experience at the moment with women, a particular one female, is that every moment we share together is a really good moment, because we're not thinking about anything. Like, we're just there is those doings that you're talking about, where we're doing, watching a movie, we're doing having this to eat. We're gonna chill and we're gonna do this. Like, but we're keeping it very simple. Like, we both want to do these things. We're gonna do these things. Now, obviously, there's like this. There might be this world for her in her head that's like, well, this is really nice. Like, this guy has potential, and it could be the voice in my head that's doing the same thing. Like, oh, do you know, like, what if we're a couple? That'd be quite decent, isn't it? But then at the same time, there's no communication there of those things that we've been thinking about in our heads. I don't know what she's thinking. I know what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
What I'm thinking is that I want to make sure that every single experience in my life, and this includes women, of course, that when I'm spending time with a female, that the doing is ultimately is kind of lust in a way, because, like, you know, I don't want a relationship, so I don't know what you'd call that. Like, spending quality time with someone, but you're not in a relationship with them, and and lust is kind of was the, because when we first met, it was all about kind of the lust of, we're attracted to each other, and we're clear we would like to have sex with each other. Obviously, we'd have to meet and see if that really works. And obviously it worked. But there's that lust, but then there's the affection. And the affection is the thing that's worrying me in this whole equation.
But that's not the doing.
Affection's not the doing.
No, affection is the experience you're having with the doing.
Bang boogie. So I've been relating to it differently then.
Well, this is it's not the truth. That's just my.
Yeah, but no, but like just the way you put that down, that kind of helped me a little bit just to calm a piece down, like.
Yeah, because look, for example, you know, an action that a thing that we both like doing for girls, right, is cooking for them.
Yeah.
And we like doing that because it's a way for us to be affectionate with them, nurturing them, giving, right?
Yeah.
But the doing is cooking and giving them that food to eat.
Yeah.
Our experience of doing that is feeling or being affectionate or nurturing, or both.
Okay.
Because you could be doing that doing, and then end up at one point. You could be doing that doing while you're in a relationship. I'm just bringing that up because of that context of what that's like, what you've shared that's like for you, right? You could be in the context of a relationship, do that doing, and you could feel or experience resentment doing it.
Yeah, like, fucking, I'm always cooking. Yeah. See, yeah. Okay.
So that's that part.
That's interesting. Yeah, because I'm trying to be with, because here's my thing then, like, because having a great time, innit? It's a good look.
Yeah.
And you know, if we were to like put the cards on the table and say, is this person got potential to be as we would say, like the one, like if you was to put it in that kind of context or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm still searching, you know. I like, my thing is that what makes me anxious, or what makes me think so much, is when I'm having a really good time with someone and really enjoying someone's company, that I know there will be an expiry date, and that expiry date will be based on someone else coming into the picture who is exactly what I've been looking for to a T, like, as in, like, not just ticking 5 boxes out of 10, I mean ticking all 10, innit? But then again, is there even such a thing as a girl who ticks all 10 boxes versus 5? Or does it matter that I meet one that has that ticks all 10 boxes? Does that mean that it's going to work better than the one that's ticked 5? And like, that's my thing right at the moment. It's like, fuck, like, yes, it's great that we're having a beautiful experience right now.
Yeah.
But there's that anxiousness of, well, someone may, I'm not saying they will, but obviously, like I'm saying, I'm talking about the thinking of. So obviously the thinking of is making me think that far ahead.
Yeah.
That doesn't exist, of course.
Yeah.
But it's getting me anxious because it's like, there's potential someone comes into my life while I'm having this great experience with this person or these people, like these females, because it could be females maybe, you know, as the year goes on maybe.
Yeah.
And someone comes and just blows me away. It's like, fucking hell, I just want to be with you, innit? Like, that's it. Now I've got that experience that I've had of being affectionate with these girls that I've been, and initially the first intention was lust. So we don't want anything, we're not doing anything more than lust, and we're just gonna have sex, have a good time, and that's that. Like, we're not gonna look into this. I want anything serious. But then, of course, I've met someone who I now really, actually, I want to be serious with this one though. And then there's just that whole experience of like, well, I'm now gonna have to either communicate or not communicate with these females that I've been having great experiences with. It's not that there's anything wrong with them. It's just that my experience as long term is more suited with whoever this next person is. But then again, this next person is not real. She doesn't exist yet. She's still not in my life, innit? Like, but it's just the anxiousness of like, shit, like, for example, there's a girl the other day, like, just every time I see her, I just think, you know what, man, you're just so piff, man. Look at you, like, you're just so hot, man. Her eyes, I'm like, wow, this girl's got me gassed, so gassed. But I can't go up to her and say, listen, do you know what, like, let's go for a drink and hang out. Let's, I don't know, like, do you want to go for a drink? I just can't do it, bro. I don't know why I can't do it, because I'm just like, man, if this girl does it, blood, if she ticks those boxes, blood, I'm pissed, innit? Like there's almost like there's women who I'm like, you know, man, don't do it just in case, man. You're gonna get yourself too gassed. And then there's women that are like, well, we're having very, very good time right now. We're not looking into anything too much. And there's an experience of there's going to be an expiry date though with you, but I really enjoy your company right now, because right now in my life you suit the situation I'm in right now. Maybe not so you know, as a long-term goal. And long-term goal obviously means like, you know, I want to have kids, innit? Like, I mean, I might not have kids, but I do feel like, well, having kids that fatherhood, not having kids, sorry, fatherhood or parenthood is something that's going to elevate. It's going to be the next experience in my life that is really going to help me to understand the meaning of life and where I stand in this whole equation, like, and I feel like that's the missing piece of, like, you know, my expression or of love that I've not experienced yet. That parenthood would be just like, you know what, that's the nail in the coffin. This is it, family man, brap. But there's females that I'm with, incredible experience. Yeah. But I get anxious thinking, but is this the mother of my child? Like, can we have a kid together? Maybe we can. Maybe it'd be an accident and we have a kid together. Maybe this, maybe that. But then the thoughts are so glued on finding the girl who's going to fit that description of the 10 boxes that are all ticked. That is making me wary of my affection for other women, because I want to be affectionate. That's just how I want to be. Yeah. But I don't want them to feel that my affection is meaning that they are the girl with the 10 boxes ticked. I'm treating them like the girl who I've ticked 10 boxes in it. I'm treating them like that because in my experience of being with them in that moment, I want to make sure that they feel they feel that I really appreciate their time. Yeah. And that's my way of expressing, I appreciate your time. This is why I'm with you right now. This is why I'm kissing you the way I'm kissing you. This is why when you say that we had amazing sex, that's why, because I want to make sure that that's your response. That was amazing. Of course I wouldn't want you to be like, oh, that was alright, I want you, man. No. I don't want you to say that. I want you to say, Mike, you did the thing. Yeah. So in all of that, it's great, like, you know, did the thing, fantastic. But then there's the whole concept of someone comes and sweeps me off my feet, and that moment I'm having these women that I'm saying, well, I'm single now, you know, I'm not owned by anyone. But I'm then gonna have to break that news that, yo, I have to stop doing this now, innit? Because, boy, like, man, I just met this girl, innit? And mother of my child, innit? Like, and boy, I just want to be with her. And just knowing that there's expiry date. I'm having the fun, I'm in the moment, all gravy, but just being conscious, damn, there's an expiry date though.
Can I drop something in?
Yeah.
Two things. Firstly, if that girl the girl you said, like when you see her you get gassed, like she's piff and da. You said you just can't. Well, you can't. There's not. The can't is just you're using.
It's more so. Yeah, it's not natural. I don't feel like I'm going in there naturally with, hey, like, do you want to go for a drink? Of course, I definitely want to go for a drink with this girl, but then I'm feeling like anxious, like, fuck, man.
Yeah, well, I'll come on to that next bit then.
Yeah.
But it's not that you can't. It's you're just choosing not to.
Yeah, choosing not to, definitely.
Yeah. And then with what you're saying about feeling anxious and blah blah, I'm gonna ask you a question, because with everything you just said, and I hear that, and it's all so valid, and I get it as well. But if you would, what would happen if you didn't think about any of that? What would happen if you didn't?
In the moment.
What would happen if you didn't think or add those meanings?
My experience would be fine. I think what's happening is that I'm thinking about the conversation that I might be having later on around it, even though it's not come up yet.
Exactly.
It's like almost anticipating, like, oh shit, man, like, well, she's gonna end up saying like, yes, I'm Mike, like, what are you thinking? Do you think we should just take this to the next level? Like, that there is almost what I'm anticipating and thinking that would spoil the moment. But then at the same time, I want the moment to be the moment. And if I weren't to stop thinking, if I was to stop thinking, the moment's just going to be the moment. That's all it's going to be. It's just fantastic moments of this woman all the time.
What would happen?
Or women.
What would happen to the girl with the 10, like that was meant to tick the 10 boxes? If you didn't think.
Well, she would be there. I guess she wouldn't exist. Well, she doesn't exist anyway. Them ones and time.
Like,
them ones and ting.
It would just, all that would be there is like, all right, here's this girl. Do I want to keep doing these things that I like doing with a girl? Do I want to keep doing that with this girl? And you'd be choosing if you want to just keep doing that with that girl, and it's just that girl. Or you might be like, oh, I'm going to keep doing it with that girl, and I'm going to keep doing it with that girl. And obviously, if they ask you and talk to you, then you're going to obviously let them know what's there. But as in, and then you have no control over how they receive it. You only have a say of how you express it to them. But then they're going to receive it how they receive it, and they might even add loads of meanings to it, which aren't correct at all for you. But with everything you're saying, that is all coming from what you're making up.
Yeah, definitely agree with you on that.
And if you stop making it up, if you stopped making that up,
and it makes room for
it all just
things that
disappears.
really exist.
Yeah.
Bang. Now, a question for you then.
Yeah.
Kind of entwines with this conversation as well.
Yeah.
Is cheating.
Yeah.
You might be thinking, what's this got to do with cheating? But just thinking now, like, we're single, yeah, and we're meeting women who we choose. Like, you know, like there might be one, there might be 10, yeah.
Yeah.
But we're single, right?
Yeah.
And when we're meeting these women, it's okay for us to do this because we're not owned by any of these women. We're not in an exclusive relationship with these women.
When you say it's alright to do this, do what?
Meet multiple women at the same time, I guess.
You mean spend time with multiple?
Spend time, yeah. But
do you mean in a particular way?
well, our intentions ultimately when we're spending time with these women is that we have a great experience. It don't just have to be sex, but just as a whole, just enjoying each other's company. And sex is obviously one of the things that may take place with that, enjoying each other's time as well.
Yeah.
And dining or whatever.
Yeah.
But when it comes to cheating, the concept of cheating, like,
Yeah.
I was thinking the other day that can cheating only be cheating if you're married to someone? Because if you're in a relationship with someone, like, yeah, do you know what, like, we decided that we're going to be together.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, you both decide that you could be together, but let's face it, man, like, you know, you're taking each other's word for it. Like, that's all you... In a way, with marriage, you're kind of doing the same, but marriage is a bit more, like, concrete, because you're both like, you know what? We want to really do this thing, like, just us two. Like, you know, we're going to share the same account. We're going to be under the same household, and, you know, we're going to build a family together. But with a relationship, like, the reason why I'm saying this is because, like, what's the difference between what we're doing now, being single, and if we were to just choose one of these girls?
Yeah.
What is really the difference if we end up just doing something with someone else while we're with this other girl? Because say we're meeting 4 girls at the moment, Ash, yeah? Say there's 4 girls in our life right now that we're enjoying time with. Like, no, these girls are alright. Like,
yeah.
And like, this one's available this time, so I'm gonna meet this one this time.
Yeah.
And this one's available this time, I'm gonna meet this one this time.
Yeah.
But then we do have a personal favourite, right? We might have one that's like, you know what, this one stands out a bit more than the others.
Yeah.
But I like all of them, innit? Like,
Yeah.
that's like having a main chick, blood, and then saying that, no, this one's a side one. If you were in a relationship with that main one, in a way, for me, that seems the same. So what is cheating then? So I kind of want to know,
Okay.
what is cheating?
Well, this is just like...
Is it something to do with integrity?
Okay, this is what's arising for me to share around what you just said. When you said that it doesn't really seem any different. Well, in the actual reality of what's happening, it isn't. It isn't different. Cheating, the word cheating is an interpretation, which is valid.
Hiding something.
Which is valid as well. I mean, it's an interpretation inside of a context of, I am with this girl is with me, we're exclusively together in a relationship or marriage, and part of our agreement is to not have any sexual intercourse or experiences with anyone else outside of our relationship, apart from with each other. And if one of us did do that, all that is happening or has happened is one of us did that. But inside of the context of a relationship, what
that spoils the experience of each other.
What we make it mean, or what we create, is doing inside of a relationship is cheating or unfaithful. Because me penetrating a girl, let me just say it that raw, right? Sex, me penetrating a girl, that's what I'm doing. Anything else on top of that is what myself and that female or whoever else might create or add to that. Oh, that's me making love. Oh, that's me cheating. That's me having a great time. That's me having a bad time. That's da-da-da-da-da. But there's just that doing, and then there's what we make that mean. What we make of it. And so what you said about, all right, us being single and if spending time with 4 girls, you're saying, what is the difference between that and if we were in a relationship with one girl and we were doing that too? Well, the difference is what we have been clear about
You communicated.
And what we've communicated. Yeah, it's what we've chosen to create. Like, if I'm choosing to create a relationship, an exclusive relationship with a girl, where it involves me doing, well, if I'm, okay, let me start again. For me personally, if I'm creating a relationship with a girl, a romantic relationship where we're exclusive, me doing the doing of having sex with another girl does not work for me. It is just that doing, but of course it would be called and can be called cheating, being unfaithful, but it would not be aligned for me doing that, because it's just not, that would just not be aligned for me. Now, and that's because of what I would be choosing to create with her in terms of a relation, the kind of relationship I want. So even if we take out the word exclusive, right, and take out the word exclusive, take out the word marriage, take out the word even open relationship. Here's this girl, I'm having an experience with her. We're calling this a relationship, and this is the kind of relationship we are wanting to create with each other and ongoingly. And that's that. And inside of that, there are doings that I'm gonna do and doings that I'm not gonna do.
Wow. So what it comes down to is just choosing what's going to be best for the experience, because the experience of,
well, not even best, choosing what is that you're wanting to do with each other, an experience you want to have. Like, for example, if I want to have a nice experience with a girl, the action of the doing of the doing of killing her, for example, is not aligned to me of having a nice experience with her.
Man, deep. Yeah.
I don't know where that came from, but that's just an extreme example.
But yeah, it's definitely but it puts it into perspective, man. It's like, yeah, it just really doesn't work, innit? It doesn't work.
Yeah. And so for me, you could say that when you said about those four girls, you could say you're having a relationship with all four. Well, I mean, you are having a relationship with those four girls. Not in the mainstream way, in the sense of
player.
You've chosen, but you've chosen this girl to be your girlfriend. Like, you're not choosing any of them to be your girlfriends. So in that sense, you're not choosing to have a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship with them. But you are like everything that's you experience. You're having. You got a relationship with everything. You got a relationship with that girl. You got a relationship with me. You got a relationship with yourself. You got a relationship with your laptop. You got a relationship to life. Like, that's what I mean when I say relationship.
Yeah.
So you're having a relationship with those four girls, for example, and you get to choose what kind of relation, as well as them as well, get to choose what kind of relationship you want to have with each other.
Communication, that was it. Bang.
Did I answer your question around the cheating?
Yeah, it does, yeah. It's the communication, man.
There you go.
It just all comes down to communication. Not just communication as a communication, like, you know, because that could mean a lot of things, but I mean communicating what's there rather than hiding it. So, yeah, what's there for me right now is to have sex with 100 women this year. Just thought I'd just let you know that. You could either be like that, or you could just be like, well, actually, I think I'm gonna hide that one. I'll just bang this one, and she doesn't have to know about the other 99. Yes, alright. But what's the experience gonna be like while you're doing that? And I mean, if you feel comfortable not mentioning, I mean, the 99 women might not even care if you've got other women.
But I suppose
that might just be there.
But what it sounds like is it's if it comes up for you that you feel like now you're hiding something, then of course you're gonna want to, like, I mean, I would encourage then obviously for you to express it.
To express it, yeah.
But
that's
you that's not something but you don't have to, like, you don't have to say that.
Yeah, and it's definitely
it's just
not required. Yeah.
Now, if she asks you, if you get asked directly, like, am I the only girl in your life? And you're like, no, I mean, yeah, and you know that's not true. Well, then that, like you're just not telling her the truth.
But then this is where it gets interesting, is that what if she was the only girl in my life at that time, and she asked me that question, and I said, yep, you are the only one.
Yeah.
There could still be the concept in her head that maybe I'm lying. Yeah. So then either way, no matter how, well, I'd be comfortable, like, yeah, well, I definitely know that I'm telling the truth.
Yeah, but you have no control.
But then it doesn't, but I have no control of the experience that I have with her if she doesn't believe me or not. So either way, yeah, communication is important, but communication is important for yourself, just for your experience to just be like, well, do you know what? I know I'm being authentic here. I know I'm being real here. I can't control how you feel about this and how you feel about that, versus trying to control how they feel about the particular things. And I think that's what worries me the most, is that I'm worrying about how to control their experience of, if we're going back to that concept of what I was talking about, the girl that ticks all 10 boxes. I'm worrying more about the experience that they will have by me sharing, versus just me just sharing that, well, do you know what, this is how it is. That it still doesn't exist, it's still not real. But I think that why I feel the way I feel about it is because I'm worried about what their experience is going to be behind it all. It's like, oh, I'm going to hurt them, or they're going to think I led them on. And it's all about how they are going to feel, and I can't control how they're going to feel. All I could do is just be real about it in the best way that I can, and not have the intention to fuck them over.
But it's also what meaning you're adding to how they might feel. Because alright, you have no control over how they'll take it. Whatever is that you might say. I mean, even when you said about like having sex, right? And you want her to have an amazing experience, you don't have control over that even. It actually you can inspire her, right? And you can contribute, you can make a difference, you can give, you can enrich her experience, that sexual experience. But you don't have a direct control of how she will experience it. But you can inspire her.
Yeah.
And like, when you say, about like how they might feel, right? All right, look. There was a girl one time that I was seeing. She was clear. I made aware to her as well that I had other females in my life.
Yeah.
And I at that time didn't want to be in a relationship. Well, let's say I just wanted to still be single. And I remember she asked me basically if anything was to happen with any other girls, would I let her know? And I said yes. I wouldn't do that again, but I said yes.
And so she said. Do you remember where that comes from? That show?
No, was that?
And so they said. Family Fortune. Is it Family Fortune?
Oh, I think so. A survey. No, our survey says.
Where is that?
Our survey says, yeah, Family Fortune.
Yeah. And so she said.
So,
what did she say?
So I said, yeah. Now, when something did happen with another girl, or another two girls, when I then was spending time with this girl, again, I was trying to spend time with her, I told her. Now, there's two things I'm going to say. Now, you know, I said basically, if a girl asks me, would I let them know? And I said, and with this one, I said yes. And I said, next time I won't do that. Next time I won't do that. What I would say to them instead, I'll say, I'm not going to do that because it's going to feel like, because for me, it's going to feel like I'm having to report back to you. However, you can ask me again, or you can ask me whenever you want to ask me something around that, and I will give you the answer. But I'd rather not feel like I have to come and report to you if I've spent time with another girl. That's what I would say next time.
Them ones are just long, man.
So I told her, and yeah, she felt how she felt, which she was upset. And she went through what she, like, in terms of her upsetness. She went through what she went through, and I was there, and I was just at that time as well. I was just being with it. I was wanting to soothe her, and when I say wanting to soothe her, it wasn't like I was like saying, "Oh, don't worry, you're the only one for me." Like, it wasn't anything like that. When I say soothing her, I mean soothing her in the sense of, I was just keeping present about how much I care about her.
Yeah.
Like that space of like how I feel about her, how I care about her. And on one level, she also couldn't understand. Now the other doings, by the way, with the girls was I kissed them. I didn't have sex with these other girls. I kissed them. And for her, that was something she couldn't get. Like, how could I do that even though I've been spending time with her? And that wasn't something I was going to really try and get her to understand or explain.
What?
Because I couldn't get. It's not something I could really get her to explain. I could really get her to understand. I could just share what was there for me, which was, well, where I'm at in my life is like I enjoy female company. I want to spend time with females.
But can you relate this to food, blood? Like, you know, like, I love chicken, innit? I love chicken, bruv, yeah? I don't care. My favourite dish is a korma. But you know what? Certain times I might go KFC, though. Yeah, like, so... Yeah, but, you know... Don't you love me? Yeah, I love korma. I love korma, man. I'll eat korma every single day. But you know what? I want to sometimes switch it up, man. Might want a different spice, man. Like, maybe there might be... I don't know, salt and pepper ribs, salt and pepper chicken, or whatever. Like, might be tired of the same dish. But if we can relate to food like that, why can't we relate to it that way in this as well? Like, oh, because we're human. But well, like, but it's based on what we like and what we enjoy. But we can't enjoy the same thing over and over again, repetitively, always. Like, who do you know now that has the same phone, the first phone that they ever had in their life, mobile phone, they still have it in their life right now?
Well, I don't know anyone, but But that's just down to personal choice, isn't it? If you want to change it.
Yeah.
Versus because there's something wrong with the phone.
Personal choice. Personal choice is going to change.
Yeah.
This thing's a shame, man. Like, it's hard, man, because it's even hard for us. Like, even if you think about it, like, so what if we liked a girl enough that's like, no, man, this could be the one, innit?
Yeah.
And then she's not feeling that.
Yeah.
So yeah, like, there's still that whole concept of like, well, regardless, it has to be mutual. And just because we might end up finding that girl that ticks the 10 boxes doesn't mean that she's going to choose us in the same way.
Yeah.
So there's no point in us thinking about it altogether.
Yeah, there isn't.
There really is no point.
Because what I was saying with that girl, she experienced being upset and and what you my point of why I was sharing that was because you were saying about like, you know, about how they might feel, and I was like saying you have no control over it, but I have no control of how she was feeling. But in that moment, I had control over how I was gonna be in relation to how she was feeling.
And you still showed that you cared, regardless.
Yeah, and I let her be where she was feeling. Because it was not going to serve me to not be true to myself. Because then that would not serve her.
Yeah.
So then at one point when she did want to be in a relationship and I was not in that space, it did not serve me to be like, alright, I'll be in a relationship with you. Because one, it didn't serve me, and then two, it would not have served her to have had a boyfriend who was just like, alright, okay, I'll be in a relationship with you. Because you keep going on about it.
Yeah.
And what you said about it could happen the other way, I have experienced that with the, I'm not gonna say the name, So and So saga. Yeah, the saga one, yeah. And
now, Kakarot, prepare yourself for oblivion.
I was like,
coming like a Dragon Ball Z into
so like I was
the Bull Saga.
I was in love with her, and I remember like when I got present to I was in love with her. I was in Italy, and it was my friend. He was like, and I was like, oh, I like the doing. Look, when we were in Italy, last time we were there, like we had fun, and obviously there were girls there, and so in regard, like, you know, pardon me, there were like the actions that I was taking while I was out there, like approaching girls, that's what I mean, all that sort of stuff. This time when I was in Italy, I didn't want to do any of that. And I got present to like, oh my gosh, I'm in love with this girl back in London. So I was like, when I go back to London, I'm going to share that with her, and I'm going to ask her to be in a relationship. And I did do that. And when I told her I was also in love, when I told her I was in love with her, she said thank you. And then when I said to her, I'd like you to be my girlfriend. How'd you feel about that? Or I don't even know if I said how'd you feel about that, but I said to her about her being my girlfriend, and she was like, yeah, she'd like to be my girlfriend. Now I could have been like, oh my god, like I could have added. See,
that was a weird response. So yeah, it could have been a bit more.
Like, what do you mean thank you? Like what do you all that sort of stuff. But I was just with. She said thank you, and I was with. She would like to be my girlfriend. Great. She doesn't need to be in love with me for me to still feel in love. I still was in love with her. And then over time, she was in love with me, and she told me, and when she told me, I said thank you. In that particular moment, but of course there were other times when I said to her I love you. Yeah. And then and I don't remember if that happened before or after when I went to Australia. I think it was it was before I went to Australia. Then I went to Australia, and for her it didn't work for me to for her to be in a relationship with that long distance. And for me, I was like, no, it'll be possible. We can see each other this often and blah blah. I said, I don't know how, but don't worry about it. It's gonna be great. Yeah. Don't think about it. But it didn't work for her, so we were no longer in a relationship. I obviously didn't stay in Australia for that long in terms of for that work opportunity. When I came, and me and her were still in touch from time to time. Came back, I shared with her how I said to her how I still felt about her, how I'd still like us to be in a relationship. She said yes to, but there was just some inner stuff she wanted to deal with. And obviously then I found out that her ex-boyfriend had been back on the scene as well. And then all of that stuff, there was all this stuff that she was dealing with, and she was sharing that with me, and I could have just been like, oh, why are you telling me this stuff, and blah blah blah, and da da da, and just really reactive. In that particular scenario, in that moment, I wasn't. I was just like, you know what? I just love you. So like, I'm just gonna keep loving you. I don't have to be in a relationship with you to keep loving you.
Yeah.
And what that did for her as well. She in a way, I think she didn't really know how to experience that, like embrace that, because it's like that's not normal. That's weird. Like. I'm not. What you could say is on an external level, I'm not getting what I want from her, which is being in a relationship with her while she's like in her confused state. But I'm still loving her, and I'm still like, look, I just want you to be happy. And then there was a point where I got to where it was like, all right, yes, I'm loving her still. I still love her, but there's a choice for me to make now in terms of, am I gonna, if you wanna call it, wait, or am I gonna let myself just be like open to someone else, or potentially someone else? And I got to the point where I made the choice. The choice was, I'm choosing her, like she has to be my girlfriend, or I'm choosing, I would like to have this kind of relationship, and she potentially might be the girlfriend in that relationship, or it might be another girl.
Yeah. And
I ended up choosing the relationship, and and me and her didn't get back together. We weren't in a relationship, and we were no longer in touch anymore, either. But like that's how that went. And so in the sense of what you said about how it could happen the other way, it did happen the other way, and she had no control over how I was gonna experience it. And on one level, like, you could look at it, someone outside could look at it and just be like, oh Ash, I would have been pissed off. How would you have dealt with that? Like her being a bit confused, saying this and then saying that and blah 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 and da 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 da.
Yeah.
But I was just how I was at that time, and that's because I was having a say about how I was experiencing it, and she wasn't necessarily doing anything in particular to inspire me to experience it in an empowering way.
Yeah.
But it's not her job anyway.
It isn't. She could be exactly as she wants to be, and you chose to be the way you want to be about it.
Yeah.
And you chose those things, and they're all okay.
Yeah. So it's not your job. You're not obliged to make a girl feel a particular way. And I get and understand you would prefer and you choose to be a particular way and express yourself in a particular way that inspires
them to relate to you in a better way than being like, oh, you did this to me, or such an interesting subject, man. Well, I definitely learned a lot from this. Like, I mean, I'm just really going to just take it on that I just want every experience I have with people to be a pure one. And for female wise, it might be that I have sex with maybe 50 of them, like, and that's okay.
Yeah.
That's a huge number, of course, but I'm just throwing a number out there, innit? But if that means that pure experience means that I'm in a moment of one and we end up doing things that there's nothing to really think about. It's just okay. Like, it's a moment.
Yeah.
It's a moment in life. Like all the other girls in my life before that I've had sexual relationship with that I'm no longer meeting anymore or no longer in contact with. It's the same. There were just moments in that time.
Yeah.
And they were incredible moments.
Yeah.
And they're okay. And it's okay for it to just be one or two or
and you might get to
10
where you choose to keep doing those similar doings, but with one particular girl.
Yeah, it might just definitely call for me to, you know, this girl's doing everything I want right now. I really don't need any more. Like, it might be clear that, in fact, in the whole first place, I don't need more.
Exactly.
There isn't that I need any more than what I'm getting right now. My sex life is perfectly fine right now. Like, but of course there can be some elevation to it. Like, there can be, like, you know, an unexpected threesome that might come out of my experience this year, maybe.
Yeah.
You know, and that's all okay, isn't it? Like, you know, definitely open to that. And it's just whatever, isn't it? Like, really, it's just whatever. Like, just being, I'm okay with how things are at the moment. I'm okay with what may come up in the near future as well. And I guess just really just thinking about right now, how are you feeling about your sex life? Feeling pretty damn good, man. I don't need to look into it. I don't need to see. I don't need to worry about. Yeah, I think that's it. That's what I want to talk about in that field, man. I just think it's all gravy, man. Stop thinking. You're right. Stop thinking.
Because that's where worrying lies.
Yeah, in the thinking of the future.
Yeah,
that's where the anxiety. That's what I read in The Power of Now, isn't it? Like where anxiety lives in the future.
Yeah.
Like regret and resent and all that stuff lives in the past. So yeah, man, just living in the now, blood.
Hey.
But but I'm living in the now. Like, what I'm saying, like what I was saying, really, was that I was living in the now. When I'm living in the now with these women.
Yeah.
They are like, I can see it in the eyes, and that's what attracts me the most about women, is when you can see the twinkle in the eye, you can see the sparkle in the eye when they're really appreciating you there, and you could see it, the transition of the first stages of you just met versus I really like this guy being around me, like and just when you notice it, it's like, wow, like this is incredible, like I make her feel this way, and I'm happy that I'm making her feel this way. But then there's obviously, you're living in the moment. That's the reason why she's appreciating you so much, because you're living in the moment. You're not thinking. In those moments, I'm not thinking. But the only time I'm thinking is when they give me that twinkle in their eye, and I'm thinking, shit. Okay, they're gonna start asking me these certain questions now. Like, should we do this? And that's what it is. That's what the journey's always like. It's always that I am always in the moment. I know how to be in the moment.
It's once you start getting a look. There's a look you start getting. And that, you make that, and I relate it to meaning that, yeah, we're living in the moment, but how about later on? Like, what should we do in the future, in the near future? Like, where should we take this? Like, that's what I relate it to. And what if in those times that is the case, when you're getting those looks, it does mean all that, and
it's like, so what, blood?
It is, because all that needs to then be communicated or expressed is what is actually there for you then.
Yeah. What's there for me now, so I'm enjoying it now. I'm really having a good time now, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And your I just want to say, some of that concern has come up from your past of when that's happened to you, and you haven't actually expressed what's truly authentic for you. You've expressed something else.
Yeah.
And then you feel like,
Exactly, man. I'm going by, I'm referring to a pattern that's already in my head right now. It's embedded in my head. Like, yeah, like that happened to that girl. And that girl gave me that experience, and chances are this one's going to be like that too. Shit. How can I defend myself in this situation? It's like, no, I really get it, man. Yeah, I just want to enjoy the moment. Yeah, I'm just going to enjoy the moment.
Skating.
Yeah, that's it, man. That was a cool topic, man. Dang.
Jeez.
Or topics, I should say. Cool topics. We didn't touch on. You didn't really have that wasn't a specific topic that you chose, was it?
Not really. I'm just probably gonna call it no thinking, enjoying in the moment, something along that.
Yeah, I guess it's because I was thinking, like, you know, where we posting, we could just highlight the things that have been said. Yeah, just that we're talking about this and this. That's the highlighted the highlighted subjects that have come up from that conversation. And it's okay if it's 2 or 3 that have arisen. But yeah, man, that's interesting, man. Yeah, I wanted to get that one off my chest, man, because I've just been having a really good time recently, and in the I don't know what you call it, dating world. I don't know.
Love life.
Love life, yeah, I guess love life. But then, is it love life? Like, what is love life? Is just like when you're spending quality time with a sex that you're attracted to, because obviously, like, you know, it could be homophobic, homosexual, or it could be straight. But basically, I was just trying to say that the right way. Can't say opposite sex anymore, man. It's 2015. You get me? Yeah, it's not the same. But yeah, like, was that what you call love life?
I mean, for me, my love life, or what I call love life, is someone. Love life for me is like who romantic. So whoever I'm having a romantic experience with. or intention with. Whoever's part of that to me, they're in my love life. Or if I'm just in a relationship, that's my love life still. And if that's ongoing and not that relationship being ongoing, that's what's going on in my love life. That's how I'd have it.
Right. Man, this is just a beautiful journey, man.
Just say it. 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 Just say it.
Just say it!
Yo, what's up, baby? Hurry up, write your number down before I don't want it no more. Hurt me! Whoa. What's up, baby?
The name's Veronica.
Ooh, Veronica, I likes that.
Great. Now I can die.
Whoa, hold up, baby. See, now, I noticed you noticing me. So I just want to put you on notice that I noticed you too. And to let you know that, I might consider letting you be with me.
Is that what passes for a compliment around here?
Look, baby, listen.
No, you listen. If you want a shot at being with me, maybe you should try talking to me like a human being, okay? Got it?
Actually, baby, you got it, but I take donations.
Just say it. 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 Just say it.
Just say it!